Have you noticed college football games getting longer? And it's not just television commercials that extend games. There is a lot of scoring. Moreover, the pace of the game is often faster with no huddle offenses and quick snaps, so that play counts are high. Alabama knows about those games. In fact, they can think back to games against this week's opponent to remember what it can be like. In Oxford last year, the game went about 4 hours with the Crimson Tide coming from a 21-point deficit to hang on for a 48-43 win. In that game, Bama's Jalen threw 31 passes among the Tide's 79 plays. Chad Kelly of the Rebels threw 40 passes as Mississippi had 73 plays. There were 16 scores in the game, 10 touchdowns and 6 field goals. Alabama coach Nick Saban pointed out the importance of this week's game when the Tide hosts Ole Miss in Bryant-Denny Stadium at 8 p.m. CDT Saturday, ESPN. It's a Southeastern Conference Western Division game. Division games are like playing two games, Saban said, because if you lose one, the other team has to lose two before you catch up to them. He also said his team has been warned that this will be a different type game than Bama has played in running its record to 4-0, including 1-0 in the second after defeating Vanderbilt 59-0 last week in Nashville. Saban said, "Our players need to understand that and do a great job of preparing for a totally different type of game this week than what we played a week ago. A lot of spread out stuff. There will be a lot of space plays. Really have to do a good job on both sides of the ball, keeping the ball away from them, and do a good job of playing defense. Conditioning," Saban said, "is a big part of it. It seems like they go fast at times. They have a pretty high play count. I think the key to it is you've got to keep the ball on offense some, but you also have to get them off the field because you don't want to let them extend drives. Because when they get those 10 to 12 play drives, and they are going fast, that's when your players really get worn out. And if they're not subbing people, it's difficult to sub people. It's a huge challenge, to be able to keep enough people in the game to stay fresh. And that's where I think when you play these kind of games, depth is really important. How much guys have to play on special teams and have to play on defense is really important. The depth is your team all the way around affects special teams, affects offense, defense, so conditioning is a huge factor. But having enough depth to try to keep enough players rolling in there is also a huge factor.